Some crimes are so shocking that investigators struggle to make sense of them. Not because they don't know who is involved, but because the violence itself seems almost impossible to comprehend. In East St. Louis, Illinois, what began as scattered reports of shootings quickly evolved into something far darker. Officers weren't responding to a single crime scene. They were chasing a trail of devastation stretching across multiple locations, each one revealing another horrifying piece of the same puzzle. 5 people will ultimately lose their lives. 2 others will survive with injuries. And as detectives connected the dots, they realized this wasn't random violence. Someone had allegedly been hunting a family. As details emerged, the story exploded across social media and Reddit, leaving thousands asking the same question: how could something like this happen? And what could possibly motivate teenagers to allegedly carry out an attack of this magnitude? Tonight, we're breaking down the timeline, the allegations, and the disturbing accusations that have left an entire community searching for answers.
First at 10, a community is shaken and searching for answers tonight. A flurry of gunfire leaves 5 dead and 2 seriously injured. Good evening, I'm Russell Kinsall. Thanks for joining us. Police tell First Alert 4 all of the victims are related, calling this a targeted mass shooting. Tonight, 2 suspects, ages 15 and 16 years old, are in custody, accused of a mass killing. Illinois State Police say the shootings span multiple scenes, including a public housing complex and a park. Our Jordan Burrell brings us the latest after spending the day in East St. Louis talking with neighbors.
Are you calling this a mass shooting, even though it happened at multiple different locations, different times?
Because they're all related, and because of the definition of what a mass shooting is, and also the proximity, but because of one common connection and the way this has unplayed, it may be appropriate to characterize it as a mass shooting.
Illinois State Police say 7 members of the same family were targeted Sunday morning in shootings across 3 locations in East St. Louis. 5 relatives were killed, 2 others survived and are hospitalized with serious injuries.
You can look at the family relationship and the relationship to the suspects that have been apprehended, and you can see that it was focused on this particular family.
One of the suspects is related to
Correct.
one of the victims.
At least one of them, correct.
Police tell us here at Gumper's Public Housing Complex is where at least one of those shootings took place. We spoke to some of the residents here who say early this morning they saw a body outside one of their dumpsters. ISP says 1 victim was found near 39th and Summit, 3 others were killed at the Gompers Public Housing Complex, and another victim died at Jones Park. The 2 others were shot there but survived. Police say no bystanders were injured. A 15 and a 16-year-old were taken into custody at Frank Holton State Park after officers performed a pit maneuver on the car the suspects were driving. When you hear it's 2 16-year-olds that are the suspects, what is that like?
Very sad. It's very sad, very sad. It makes you wonder, like, what would make them do such a thing? And that's where I'm at with it. Like, why? What would be the reason?
The progress we have made will not be lost as a result of this terrible, terrible acts of violence that have occurred in this community today. So this is the City of Champions.
Police say there is no known threat to the public. They declined to answer if any weapons have been recovered. Charges are expected as the investigation continues. In East St. Louis, Jordan Burrell, First Alert 4.
This is an evolving story, and we're continuing to work to learn more details. We'll be sure to bring you any new information on air and inside the First Alert 4 news app.
When emergency calls first started coming in, no one knew the full scope of what was unfolding. Gunfire, victims, panic. But within minutes, investigators realized something wasn't adding up. The shootings weren't confined to one neighborhood. They were happening at different locations throughout East St. Louis. Every new crime scene brought another victim. Every update painted a picture that was becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Authorities would later say that at least 7 members of the same family had been targeted. This wasn't chance. According to investigators, someone appeared to be moving from place to place with a specific objective. The attacks ultimately stretched across 3 separate locations only a few miles apart. 1 victim was found near Summit Avenue and North 39th Street. 3 others were discovered at the Samuel Gopers homes. Another victim was located at Jones Park. where 2 additional family members survived their injuries. As investigators secured each location, they faced an overwhelming question: who would target an entire family? As detectives reconstructed the timeline, another unsettling revelation surfaced. The violence may have begun even earlier than anyone initially believed. Court documents later alleged that one of the victims, 49-year-old Sherry May, had actually been killed days before the larger shooting spree that shocked the community. If true, that meant the attacks weren't confined to a single afternoon. Instead, investigators were looking at a series of alleged killings unfolding over multiple days. That discovery transformed the investigation. This wasn't simply about identifying suspects. It became about understanding how the events escalated and why no one realized the full picture until it was too late. The victims were identified as Patricia May, 74, Sherry May, 49, Shania Thompson, 25, Devin May, 24, and Quentin Thompson, 21. Each name represented another family member whose life had come to an abrupt end. 2 others survived, carrying injuries that would forever remind them of that weekend. As the investigation accelerated, authorities arrested 2 teenagers. Because of their ages, officials initially released very little information. Police declined to publicly identify them immediately after the arrest, citing restrictions surrounding juvenile investigations. Investigators will only confirm that there was a family connection. Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly told reporters that one of the suspects was related to the victims. The relationship between the suspects themselves and their alleged connection to everyone involved quickly became one of the most talked about aspects of the case. Eventually, prosecutors announced that 16-year-old Jamayer Davis had been charged as an adult. A 15-year-old girl was charged separately in juvenile court. Prosecutors also indicated they intended to seek her transfer into adult court. As more information became public, allegations surrounding the motive stunned many following the case. According to statements made publicly by Marcus May, the father of the 15-year-old defendant, his daughter had allegedly become angry with members of her own family. He claimed she and her boyfriend had plotted the attack together. Those allegations remain central to the prosecution's case.
First at 5, troubled teens accused of outrageous crimes in multiple places in the metro. Tonight we are learning more about the shocking killings forever changing families and futures. We start in East St. Louis, where a 16-year-old is now charged as an adult, accused of shooting 7 people, killing 5 of them. First Alert 4 investigator David Amilati details the new charges.
The charging paperwork filed just hours ago lays out 12 felony counts against Jamayer Davis, including 5 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors say because he's 16, the case is automatically in adult court under Illinois law. Investigators allege Davis used a stolen 9mm pistol in these shootings in East St. Louis. One count alleges he took a 2015 white Chevy Traverse during the violent spree. Also tonight, we're learning he is charged with dismembering a body after investigators say Davis removed a thumb from one of the victims. The state's attorney's office says it will move for pretrial detention at the first opportunity and did confirm a second juvenile case has also been filed, but that minor cannot be identified. Illinois State Police say the shootings on Sunday happened across 3 locations, with the victims' ages ranging from 74 to 21 years old. Our team spoke with Marcus May, who is related to 3 of the victims, and the father of the other suspect, who confirms she was dating Davis.
She chose to do this. I can't show her no sympathy. I hate to be like that, especially in this time, but it is what it is, and I really, I can't say I hope she get a light, nothing.
Here's another new piece of information from the court paperwork. This starts earlier than first reported. The documents say Sherry May was killed between July 5th and 7th, about a week before the other 4 killings listed in the case. Prosecutors say they will ask the judge to keep Davis held without pretrial release, and they say they will seek to move the second minor's case from juvenile to adult court and also seek pretrial detention once that minor appears before a judge.
There was a list on Instagram that her and the boyfriend made. So we were aware, we just didn't know when.
Almost killed by their own family. Lemarian Smiley tells me from the hospital where he is visiting his loved ones who made it out alive.
They took them to Jones Park and they fired off in the vehicle, hitting my wife 4 times, killing Quentin and Shania Thompson, and shooting my auntie in the face.
On Tuesday, prosecutors charging 16-year-old Jameer Davis with 12 felonies, including the attempted murder of his girlfriend's mother and cousin, Tiffany Thompson and Santasha Scott.
He stood over my wife, trying to kill her, but they had no more bullets.
The two shot in Jones Park along with the 15-year-old suspect's brother and sister, 21-year-old Quentin and 25-year-old Shania Thompson, both executed in the East St. Louis Park Sunday.
It's all because y'all wanted to be together. So they wanted to eliminate everybody that had a problem with the situation.
3 more family members killed on this crime spree across 2 more locations, on 39th and Summit and in the Samuel Gompers homes. The teen's 74-year-old grandmother, Aunt Cherie, and cousin 20-year-old Devin May all shot and killed. The family says the gun used in the shootings was stolen from the 15-year-old's mother before the shooting.
Her daughter took the keys from her purse, unlocked the lockbox, and took the firearm. The police were notified as soon as they found out that the firearm was taken.
Charges of using the stolen weapon also filed in court, along with dismembering a human body, after investigators say the grandmother's thumb was cut off.
Mental health is a serious thing, and this is crazy.
The indictment against Jameer Davis contains 12 criminal counts, 5 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated battery, 1 count of aggravated vehicular hijacking, 1 count involving the unlawful use of a stolen firearm, and 1 count accusing him of dismembering a human body after prosecutors alleged that Patricia May's thumb had been severed. The allegations are among the most disturbing aspects of the case. A judge ordered Davis to remain in custody without pretrial release while the criminal proceedings continue. As for the 15-year-old co-defendant, prosecutors have made it clear they intend to pursue adult prosecution as well. Both defendants are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in court.
We have new information right now on a chilling crime in East St. Louis. We now know the name of one of the 2 teens accused of killing 5 family members and injuring 2 others.
A 16-year-old boy is charged with 12 felonies. Fox 2's Chris Regnier is live downtown with the latest developments in the case. Chris?
Where, Mike, good morning to both of you. Court documents in this case name the 16-year-old suspect as Jameer Davis of East St. Louis. The charges he's facing include 5 counts of first-degree murder. Those court documents say that Davis even cut off the thumb of the oldest murder victim. We are also getting new insight that the motive for this violence may be focused around a family dispute. We can show you pictures of some of the victims in this horrifying case. The family members who were killed range in age from 21 years old to 74 years old. While Davis has now been named and is being tried in adult court, the second suspect, a 15-year-old girl, is still in the juvenile system, at least for now. Everything unfolded this past Sunday morning in East St. Louis at 3 different locations. 3 of the victims were shot and killed at the Gompers public housing complex. 3 others were shot at Jones Park. 1 of them died and 2 others were hurt. And 1 other person was shot and killed at a home at 39th and Summit. A pastor who says she knows everyone involved tells us the 2 teen suspects are boyfriend and girlfriend. She says the teens plotted these shootings because the targeted family members would not allow the teens to stay with them because the young boy had stolen a gun. Here is some of what the pastor told us.
So I can see those children crying and weeping and screaming every day. because they've done something this foolish. Reality has kicked in. People, please, train up your children. I know they've been trained good, you know, but a lot of times they get influenced by other children or whatever the case may be. This should not be.
Illinois State Police telling us that all of the victims in this case are related to the 15-year-old suspect. We're told the St. Clair County State's Attorney does plan to request that her case be transferred to adult court soon. At this point, we're told a juvenile delinquency petition has been filed against that 15-year-old. That petition includes charges of first-degree murder. Davis is being held at the St. Clair County Jail. There is a vigil this evening in East St. Louis for the victims in this case. For now, live near downtown, Chris Brunier, Fox News.
The case quickly spread far beyond southern Illinois. Reddit discussions, news coverage, and online forums filled with disbelief. Many focused on the sheer number of victims. Others were stunned by the alleged family connection. Perhaps one of the most widely discussed moments came after Marcus May publicly stated that he felt no sympathy for his daughter, saying she had allegedly chosen to help destroy her own family. Those comments ignited emotional debates online. Some questioned how such a tragedy can unfold within a family. Others simply struggled to comprehend the scale of the violence. Even now, many questions remain unanswered. Investigators have not publicly revealed every detail of the timeline, nor have they discussed everything they believe happened between the first alleged killing and the final shooting.
5 lives taken and a family left to plan 5 funerals. Tonight we are hearing from the loved ones of an East St. Louis family torn apart by a horrific act of violence. Loved ones say the killer is one of their own. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The killing spree spanned across 3 different crime scenes in East St. Louis. Our Melanie Johnson is live in East St. Louis.
Yeah, Mike and Kelly, I spent the day speaking to this heartbroken family, just shattered and trying to comprehend how one of their own could kill the people that they love. A teen couple has been arrested in connection to these murders tonight, and I spoke to the 15-year-old suspect's father, who says his daughter's decision has crushed his family after she killed her own grandmother and his own mother.
I can't show her no sympathy.
Marcus May tells me his teen daughter made a decision that is just heartbreaking. The 15-year-old and her 16-year-old boyfriend accused of shooting 7 of their family members, killing 5 of them. The victims, Patricia May, her daughter, Cherie May, her son, Devin May, 24 years old, who leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter, and siblings Quentin and Shania Thompson, ages 21 and 25. 2 other family members survived this attack, the shooting taking place at 3 locations. The Samuel Gompers complex, where a bouquet of flowers now sits at the front door, a home at 39th and Summit and Jones Park. The teenage suspects were captured following a police chase at a nearby park. While preparing to say 5 final goodbyes, heartbroken family members hope the focus remains on the lives they touched, not the tragedy.
They know that he was a great father, a great person, a great man. My granny's someone so loved. She's so loved, and it just hurts to see that she was gone like this. It just really hurts so bad.
No word tonight on possible charges, as the Illinois State Police tell me this is an ongoing investigation. Now, if you would like to help these families, there are 2 GoFundMe set up, one to help the family's burial costs and also a trust fund for Devin's 1-year-old daughter. You can find all that information in this app, in this story at ksdk.com. Live in East St. Louis tonight, Melanie Johnson, 5 on your side.
For investigators, this case is far from over. Court hearings, evidence, witness testimony, and legal arguments will ultimately determine what happened and who bears criminal responsibility. But regardless of the outcome, 5 lives have already been lost. An entire family has been permanently changed, and an East St. Louis community continues searching for answers to a tragedy that few could have imagined. As the judicial process moves forward, more details are expected to emerge, shedding light on a case that has already become one of the most disturbing family-targeted homicide investigations in recent memory. We'll continue following this story as new information becomes available. Alright y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the crazy story of a young teenage girl getting her teenage boyfriend to try to eliminate a lot of her family members. Now they're going to be charged as adults. Hey man, condolences to the family. May they rest in peace. Get in that comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!